Today I will show you how to knit a miser's purse. The miser's purse emerged in the late 18th century and has been known by various names such as misers, hookers, stockings, rings, string purse and many others. Its design was inspired by the medieval tradition of storing coins in the toe of a stocking. Now let's start knitting. First, make sure the racking handle is in its lowest position. Now raise 35 needles on the front bed of the machine, 17 to the left and 18 to the right side of the center. Place the edge springs on the last working needles. Now raise the opposite 35 needles on the back bed and place the edge springs on the last working ones. It should look like this. Set both locks to N and the stitch size to 3. Insert the orange strippers and take the main yarn. Now knit one row. Set both locks to CX and increase the stitch size to 4. Now knit 2 rows. Set both locks to N and increase the stitch size to 5. Knit 1 row to finish the cast on. Set both locks to DX and increase the stitch size to 5.5. Remove the orange strippers and insert the black ones. Rotate the racking handle to its highest position. Take a strand of yarn and lay it over the stitches. Pull both ends between the beds of the machine, tie them together and attach a weight to the loop. Move the edge springs to the sides and use the double-eye bodkin tool to transfer the stitches according to the diagram. Put the edge springs back on the last working needles and make sure all empty needles are out of working position. Now raise pushers under all working needles. The pushers will form groups of 3. On the front bed, put the rightmost pusher of each group in resting position. Now raise pushers under all working needles on the back bed. Again, you must have groups of 3 pushers in working position. Put the leftmost pusher of each group in resting position. Now knit 4 rows. Now change the position of the first and the last pusher of each group. On the front bed, you have to put the leftmost pusher in resting position and the rightmost one in work. Then you have to do the opposite on the back bed. Put the leftmost pusher of each group in working position and the rightmost one in resting position. Now knit 4 rows. You have to repeat the same steps to knit the lace part. Don't forget to support me by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. For the lace part, you must knit a total of 120 rows. Now clear the row counter and set both locks to CX. Put all pushers in resting position and raise the empty needles. You must have the same number of needles on both beds. Now knit 2 rows. Use the single prong tool, take one of the stitches from each group of 2 needles and twist it as shown in the video. This will make all the stitches knit correctly on the next row. I won't show you the whole process, but you have to make this on the front bed as well. Now knit 28 rows. Clear the row counter, then set both locks to BX and press both left arrow keys. On the front bed, raise the rest of the pushers so there is a pusher raised under every working needle. Then put all the pushers in resting position. On the back bed, raise pushers under all working needles and put them in working position. Now knit 60 rows. Clear the row counter and set both locks to CX. Press both zero keys to disengage the arrow keys. Now knit 30 rows. Clear the row counter and set both locks to DX. Use the single prong tool and transfer the stitches according to the diagram. You can transfer the leftmost stitch to the opposite needle on the back bed, but make sure the rest of the stitches are not transferred to the opposite bed. You can only transfer them to the adjacent needles. If you transfer them across the bed of the machine, you will sew the upper section of the purse. Ask me, how do I know that? I will leave the whole footage so you can see everything in detail. After you transfer all of the stitches, make sure all empty needles are out of work. Now do the same on the back bed. Put all pushers under the non-working needles out of work. Then put the remaining pushers in working position and put the rightmost one of each group in resting position. Now do the same on the back bed. The needles and the pushers must be arranged the same way as at the beginning of the video. On the back bed, put the leftmost pusher of each group in resting position. Now knit 4 rows. On both beds, change the position of the first and the last pusher of each group. Then knit 4 rows again. An easier way is to bring all pushers to working position with the orange ruler and then manually lower the needed one as I am showing here. Continue repeating these steps until you knit a total of 120 rows. Clear the row counter and set both locks to CX. Now knit 2 rows. At this point the purse is ready. Pull the yarn from the eyelet and cut it. Move the edge springs to the sides, thread the yarn tail into the double-eye bodkin tool and sew off the stitches in a circular manner. Don't forget to remove the weight before sewing off all stitches. This is what the purse will look like. It's a long tube measuring about 30 by 10 centimeters. Cut the contrasting color yarn we laid in the beginning and pull it out. Now let's make the other end round. We only need to pull the cast-off tail and this will gather that side. Now the purse should look like this. To make it work, you need to have two metal rings. The ones I'm using are 25 mm in diameter. You need to pull the knitted purse through the metal rings as shown in the video. The hole will stay in the middle, but both sides of the purse will be closed by the metal rings. Now I will show you how to use it. First, slide one of the metal rings so it is above the hole. Now you can use the hole to put some coins inside the rounded part. Now slide the metal ring down to close the hole. The coins will stay securely inside the purse and won't fall. Slide the second ring to open the hole again. In the other half you can put your ID or bank card. Also, you can put some paper money or different currency coins. Now slide the metal ring to close the purse. As you can see, nothing will fall off the purse now. To get out the coins, you have to slide the metal ring so the hole is open. Depending on the stitch pattern used, you can make this purse suitable for men and women. It doesn't look like a traditional purse, so it may confuse the robbers who are looking to steal the traditional style of purses. Last year I made a video about fixing my mother's jacket which was cut by a robber while she was on the subway. So I think it's best to use this purse for cash and bank cards only. Earlier in the video I mentioned that the purse can be decorated. You may make a braid using an I-cord and attach it to the rounded side of the purse. If you don't like this idea, I will give you a second one. You may use a strong thread and some beads to attach them to either side of the purse. That's all for today. Have a nice day and see you in my next video.